Hi, Mark Black here, speaker, author, founder of Your Best Year Yet. And in this video, I just wanted to share with you how we can overcome major adversity in our lives. If you've been following my blog or watching this YouTube channel, you know the adversity that I've faced in my life. For those who maybe don't know, I'm a heart and double lung transplant recipient. So at 23 years old, I was told I had less than a year to live. Doctors basically gave me two options. Option one, go home and spend whatever time you have left with your family and your friends. Option number two, we can try and get you on a transplant list, but frankly, the odds of receiving your transplant in time are very, very slim. Faced with those two choices, I made what some call a difficult decision, although I felt it was pretty easy, and decided to try the transplant. And some people say that's a difficult choice. I say it's easy because the alternative was certain death. But certainly it was still a scary choice to make. It involved moving far away from home, living on the edge of our seats, so to speak, because we were waiting for a pager to go off to say that organs had been found. So you're waiting for a call, never knowing when that's going to come, knowing that death could be around the corner, and certainly knowing that the transplant surgery itself was very dangerous. Now I sit here nearly 12 years later, knowing that obviously I made the right choice. But it's not even so much the fact that my life was prolonged as the lessons I've learned along the way that have confirmed for me that the choice was the right one. And most of the wisdom I acquired was not through the transplant itself, but in the periods before and after. And as anybody who has gone through a life and death situation can tell you, facing your death can have a tremendously focusing ability. It can certainly make you scattered and panicked and afraid, but can also help you to become incredibly focused. And so my experience and my brush with death helped me to focus on what really mattered in my life. And I've tried to carry that focus through to my life after transplant. See, my life after transplant is only slightly more certain than it was before. I live knowing that the 5-year survival rate for my transplant is less than 50%. I'm in year 12. I know that one of two things eventually will happen. Either my organs will start to fail, and if I'm lucky, I might get the chance to go back on a transplant list. More than likely, I won't. Or option two, because of a suppressed immune system due to the medication I take, to prevent the organs from rejecting, I will catch an infection and my weakened immune system will not be able to fight it off. And so I live with the reality of the fact that I am not likely to see my 40th birthday or my 50th birthday, and certainly not my 60th birthday. I'm not likely to see my children get married or even graduate high school. And I tell you all that not to make you sad or feel sorry for me, because I've been beating odds all along, and I fully plan to be there when my children get married. But I tell you that because we all are on a clock. We just don't know how many hours are on it. We don't know how much time we have, but we're all on a limited time span. And so rather than have that cause you to get reckless or scared, I hope it challenges you to get focused, to get zoned in on what really matters to you, and to spend your time, your finite and special time that you only get to spend once, doing things that really matter, doing things that move the needle for you in your life, doing things that make a difference for your life and the lives of those you care about. And so I want to give you 3 quick tools to help you to do that. And the first one is to ask yourself a very basic but very difficult question to answer. Why? What is your why? See, all too often we focus our entire lives on what and how. We want to know what to do next. We want to know how we should do it. We forget often, though, in the hubbub of life, in the rush of our culture, to ask ourselves why we're doing the things we do. Why do the things we do even matter? Do they matter at all? Are we spending our time on the things that matter most or not? And so ask yourself why. Secondly, ask yourself, if I had 1 year left to live, how would I live it? Again, this isn't about being morbid. It's not about making you worry or panic. But putting that finite amount of time on yourself allows you to get crystal clear and focused on what matters most and on what's next. What's the next most important thing to do? Not what's the next thing that pops up, not what's the next thing that someone presents to you, but what is the next most important thing? So that you're always spending your time on your highest priority items. Because if we don't do that, then it's very easy to get caught up in the what's next of whatever somebody else presents to us. And we end up spending our time on things that don't really matter to us in the end. And the third and final question is, how do you want to be remembered? Now, at the end of our lives, we're all going to be remembered for something. Something will be etched on our tombstone. Something will be said in our eulogy. What do you want those things to be? What do you want your life to have been about? What do you want people to be able to say about you? The more you can think about how you want those questions to be answered, the better focus you will have on what ultimately matters to you and on what ultimately matters to you and on how you want to spend your time. So I hope those questions are helpful for you. I hope this tool is helpful for you. As always, you can learn more about how to create the best year of your life by going to yourbestyearyet.ca. Until next time, this has been Mark Black. And remember, don't live every day like it's your last day. Just be alive every day.